You are not weak because one comment ruins your day. You are human. But if you don't understand why it happens, you'll live like a prisoner of other people's opinions. Most men fail not because they are weak, but because they keep negotiating with their own excuses. You are here because you are done negotiating. You are listening to the silent kings. Negativity bias. Most men have never heard the term, but they live under its control every day. You can get 50 words of support and 1 word of criticism, and your mind will replay that 1 word on a loop. You post something. You try in school, at work, in business, in your craft. Most people are silent or supportive, but one person laughs, mocks, or throws a sarcastic line, and suddenly that is all you can think about. You are not special for feeling that. It happens to everyone. It is not a glitch. It is your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do. It is called negativity bias, and it is a survival mechanism. For most of human history, the people who survived were the ones who paid more attention to threats than to compliments. A rustle in the bushes, a hostile face in the crowd, a sign that something might be wrong. If you ignored that, you died. So your brain learned to give more weight to danger than to comfort. Fast forward to your life now. The danger is no longer a predator. It is a comment, a laugh, a rejection, a strange look. Your body still reacts like it's life or death, even though nothing is actually threatening you. That bias doesn't just hit your emotions, it poisons your decisions. You can be doing well in your training, your work, your studies, your business. But let one bad day, one mistake, one rejection appear, and you let it erase all the progress in your own mind. You have felt this, one awkward moment, and you start the negative self-talk. I'm doing something wrong, I'm not improving, people think I'm a joke, I'll probably fail again. That is negativity bias doing its job a little too well. It's trying to protect you from pain by pulling you away from risk, away from exposure, away from growth. But in a world where your life isn't on the line, that protection becomes a trap. A stranger's comment online is not dangerous. Someone laughing because you stumbled is not dangerous. A person turning you down when you step forward is not dangerous. Yet your brain treats these things like flashing red alarms. If you are not aware of this, you start living your life in reaction to them. You stop posting, stop trying, stop speaking, stop risking. You train yourself to avoid the very situations where you grow. Every time you let one negative moment outweigh dozens of positive ones, you are reinforcing the bias. You are literally programming your mind to keep searching for what is wrong. You close the app because it hurts. Then a few days later, you go back and scroll through the comments again, picking at the wound. So how do you fight something that deep? First, you remind yourself, most of it does not matter. The man who laughed at you will forget you exist in 5 minutes. Anonymous critics online are nameless, faceless, and usually unhappy with their own life. The people who truly matter are the ones closest to you, the ones who actually know you. Their opinion is worth weight. A stranger's passing noise is not. When you give more power to random observers than to your own values, you are handing your crown to the crowd. Second, you deliberately reprogram the bias. Your brain will naturally count the negatives. You must consciously count the positives. If 4 people mock you and 22 do not, your focus belongs on the 22. If you receive 50 supportive comments and 1 nasty one, you force yourself to reread the 50. Fill your mind with the evidence that most people are not against you. If you have a week with 9 good actions and 1 bad mistake, review the 9 as heavily as you review the 1. This is not delusion, it is balance. You are not ignoring the negative, you are stopping it from stealing all the oxygen in the room. You learn from it, but you refuse to worship it. Third, you name the feeling. You know the moment, the hot flush of embarrassment, the drop in your stomach, the sudden spin in your mind. That is your trigger. Most men run from that feeling. You won't. You will call it out. This is my negativity bias. The instant you name it, you create distance between you and the reaction. Now you are not the emotion, you are the man observing it. You can say, my brain is doing ancient survival math in a situation that is not life or death. and you can choose not to obey it. The same applies to dealing with negative people. There will always be someone who complains about everything: the train, the weather, their day, their life. You do not have to let their mindset infect you. Quietly reframe it. When they say, "The train is late again," you can think, "It's still amazing that this thing exists and can move me across a city in minutes." It might seem small, but you are training your mind to look for what is working instead of what is broken. Your attention is your most valuable currency. Most people give it to the loudest problem in the room. A king learns to give it to what builds him. Negativity bias exists so that a small number of bad moments can outweigh a large number of good ones. That made sense when your life was on the line. It does not make sense when the threat is a comment section, so use it wisely. Analyze the negative only enough to learn from it. Then return your focus to the overwhelming evidence that you are moving forward. If you mostly get good feedback with a bit of hate, the problem is not you. Often the problem is that your effort exposes the people who are not trying. It is easier for them to throw a stone than to build something of their own. You cannot control them. You can only control the man you become in the face of it. That is where your power lives. Catch and label the punch. The next time you feel that sudden flush of embarrassment or anxiety after a comment or reaction, stop and say in your mind, "This is my negativity bias, not the truth about me." Breathe and wait 10 seconds before you respond or decide anything. Count the evidence correctly. When you get mixed feedback, write it down on paper. How many neutral or positive responses? How many negative? Train your brain to see that the majority is rarely against you. Reclaim your attention. Set a rule for yourself. You do not reopen comment sections or replay criticisms more than once. Review, learn if needed, then redirect your focus to the work and the people that actually matter. If this message reached you, you're already ahead of most, and continue your training in the next lesson. Share this with one man who lets one comment control his whole day.